Well, Ryukyu Golden Kings making it all the way to the semifinals in the last season. Alvark Tokyo, meanwhile, the two-time champions of the B.LEAGUE, did not advance to the championship, looking to bounce back strong this season and hit the ground running here on opening day. It is an exciting feel, the vibe here with basketball in Japan. You can see the fans glad to be back in the arena, and Pavicevic, the coach there, Luka Pavicevic, they love their coach, Alvark Tokyo, immortalized by those two championship wins that he led them to immediately after arriving in Japan. But it's harder to stay on top, perhaps, than it is to get to the top, and they will be looking for good times to return. Ryukyu Golden Kings, meanwhile, again, coming off a promising season. Both of these teams with some newcomers to their lineup. And as you look at the teams here in this B.LEAGUE and the B1 standings, I'll just go over some of the newcomers for Ryukyu. Gary Hamilton, Ko Flippin, Alan Durham, and Hugh Watanabe, all newcomers to the team. And again, now switching over to the B2, this graphic, I'll let you digest that information. Alvark Tokyo, some of their newcomers include Jordan Taylor, Shuto Ando, Seiba Saiz, who was the MVP last year for Chiba Jets in the finals, and Ryan Rossiter and Reishu Sasakura, who has joined on loan or on rent from Sendai. So as the teams warm up here for the opening tip, again, as you look at Jack Cooley there, taking a sip of water, and Ko Flippin, how outstanding was he, and especially against Ryukyu in their semifinal showdown with Chiba Jets. So perhaps not surprising that he played, that he caught the eye of Ryukyu Golden Kings, and they have brought him in to be a big contributor. We'll see. He was a real spark, and you certainly wondered maybe why he didn't get even more minutes last year by the time he played in the championship, because in the semifinals and the finals, he was a big part of that success for Chiba Jets, as was Seiba Saiz. So very interesting compilation, assemblage of talent here for this Ryukyu Golden Kings team. Alvark Tokyo, as I mentioned, the two-time champions going back to 2017, 2018. They haven't been standing around. Seiba Saiz joining Alvark Tokyo, and this Ko Flippin obviously joining Ryukyu, but very, very solid team. Very interesting makeup of this team for Coach Luka Pavicevic. I'm sure that he has identified the players that he believes can really help them out. And, well, Ryan Rossiter, the naturalized Japan international, he would be good enough to play for any team, you would imagine, as well as Seiba Saiz, the Spain international. There he is, and he was just terrific. I'm sure his Chiba Jets fans were sad to see him leave, but it's professional sports, and he's moved on to a different opportunity. Shuto Ando, and again, Jordan Taylor, other important newcomers to this Alvark Tokyo team. So again, you want to hit the ground running. You don't want to start on the back foot. And last year was still kind of strange as we get a look here at this Ryukyu Golden Kings roster. I'll go ahead and say Gary Hamilton, Narito Namizato, Ko Flippin, Alan Durham, Hugh Watanabe, Dwayne Evans, Duichi Kishimoto, Naoki Tashiro, the captain, Keita Imamura, Yuki Mitsuhara, and Shota Onodera, Jack Cooley, and Hayato Maki playing for Ryukyu Golden Kings. And the benefit of playing at home, being roared on by their home fans today, See if that gives them a lift. There is the captain, Tashiro, number 24. Had some great moments last year, all season long, as well as in the playoffs. And Ryukyu just ran into a very hot Chiba Jets team and weren't able to advance any further in the competition. They weren't able to make it to the finals. And Narito Namizato, excuse me, that would be Duichi Kishimoto, the 1.76 meter point guard, also plays shooting guard. And we can see the back of Yuki Mitsuhara. So Ryukyu getting their final instructions here from Coach Dai Oketani, excuse me. And you have to think that there's probably some butterflies going on, flying around in the stomachs of these players as the fans come out with the anticipation, a little bit of anxiety. You know, the aspiration is there to go all the way and to become the elite team in the B-League, which just continues to grow in prestige. And you can see that by the number of high-level coaches in this competition, as well as the big-time players that keep pouring in. So Alvark Tokyo, Genki Kojima, Jordan Taylor, Hirotaka Yoshi, who's a rookie, Shuto Ando, Zach Varanowski, Seiba Sais, who we've spoken about, Shohei Kikuchi, again, Hiraiwa, Ryan Rossiter, Daiki Tanaka, the Japan International, and the MVP of the 2019-2020 season that was cut short by COVID, Reiju Sasakura, Alex Kirk, and Taiki Osakabe, who's 53 years of age and has led this team to a couple of titles in the B-League, also the FIBA Asia Champions Cup. And Tanaka there, not long ago, we watched him play running up and down the floor here in Tokyo at the Olympics. Even though the results weren't what Japan wanted, they really gave a good account of themselves, and that was a very, very tough Olympic tournament. Anybody could tell you there were no pushovers in that Olympic tournament, and especially with the Olympic qualifying tournaments now that they had all over the world to make that competition even stronger. And of course, big news as well with Japan installing Tom Hovas, who led the Japan women to the silver medal at the Olympics. He has been installed now as the head coach of Japan's national team, the men. So a lot of these players perhaps will be warming up and hoping to put on a good show here to catch the eye of Coach Hovas, one of the bright minds in all of basketball. That move, for me, was not a surprise in so much that Hovas has learned how to really think outside the box. But in the B-League, well, again, every game important. Every game is a time when you have to show up ready to play. And especially for Ryukyu Golden Kings, it's a tough ask today because they do not want to start with a home loss. And yet they're going up against one of the traditional powerhouses of Japanese basketball here, Alvark Tokyo. So now the players are going to be introduced. And we'll get a look at the starting five for Alvark. It's going to be Shuto Ando, as well as Shohei Kikuchi, Ryan Rossiter, Daiki Tanaka, and also Alex Kirk. And you can see how big those guys are. Alex Kirk comes in at 2.11 meters in height. He is now 29 years of age. He comes from the U.S. state of New Mexico. That's where he actually played his college basketball. Shuto Ando, big things expected from him this season. Coming over from Nagoya, just the purest of shooters. Ryan Rossiter, a real seasoned veteran. And then you can see Tanaka, Alex Kirk coming out, and the rest of the Alvark Tokyo players. and the lights have lowered here in Okinawa for the introduction of the Golden Kings. And you have to admire the pre-production here that we're looking at up on the giant screen. This is what the fans are looking at inside the Okinawa Arena. And images from last season, from that great run by this Ryukyu Golden Kings team, again, making it all the way to the semifinals of the championship, where they came up short against the eventual champions, Chiba Jets. And again, the big changes. So this will be the starting lineup for Ryukyu Golden Kings. So Ko Flippin. I guess polite applause. Perhaps some fans still a little bit stung by his performance in the championship last year. Also Dwayne Evans, no surprise he's in the starting lineup, as well as Naoki Tashiro, the captain. Keita Imamura, the 1.91 meter shooting guard and small forward. And then, of course, the very bullish Jack Cooley, the 2.06 meter center. That is going to be an interesting matchup today for Cooley when he goes up against Ryan Rossiter and Seba Saiz. So as you can hear, let's get ready to rumble. That's the sound from the man on the tannoy. The referees are, well, they're not ready to rumble, but they're certainly ready to go. It's go time. It's go time for everybody. It's go time for the Japanese B.LEAGUE. One of the competitions that has really caught the imagination of fans all over the continent. So again, the starting fives for both teams, fascinating, especially, in my opinion, fascinating to see how Ryu Golden Kings are going to come out today with Ko Flippin in that lineup. And there's Tanaka, the evergreen, just doesn't really seem to miss a beat. And Tashiro, again, the captain of Ryukyu Golden Kings, number 24. Well, hello everybody. Once again, if you're just joining us, it's Ryukyu Golden Kings taking on Alvark Tokyo here in Okinawa, and Alvark Tokyo winning the opening tip. Perhaps a little bit of nerves out here. Maybe it's time for Tanaka. No, it's going to be Alex Kirk. And Alex Kirk gets a friendly bounce off the front of the rim. So he might be one of the biggest men on the court, but that's not going to stop him from going outside, and that is an interesting development already. He's going to try to pull Jack Cooley away from the paint. Here's Ko Flippin, and Ko Flippin misses with his first shot. Rossiter rebounds the miss and brings it up for Alvark. Tokyo. Ando hands it off to Kirk, and it's 2 in a row. And again, Jack Cooley, that was a long 2. In fact, Jack Cooley is not going to be able to allow him that much space, or it could be very damaging to their chances today. Dwayne Evans gets it down low, a little bit short, and Ko Flippin picks up the loose ball. So referees have blown their whistle and have called a foul against Ryukyu Golden Kings. Rossiter has good handles for a big. Now shaking and baking, Kikuchi gets it back outside to Shuto Ando. And Shuto Ando has it knocked away. Jack Cooley saying, hey, that's our basketball. And so is Ko Flippin. Let's have another look and see who this ball goes off of. That was definitely a 50-50. Could have gone either way, but Alvark will maintain possession. And missing with his first shot, Tanaka. Here's Dwayne Evans. Goes behind his back. Gets it back over to Tashiro. Oh, a little bit of a stumble there. So 9 seconds on the shot clock. Possession will stay at this end. Ko Flippin going to try to inbound the basketball, and he does to Tashiro. Now Dwayne Evans hands it back off to Tashiro. Shot clock down to 5. They find Cooley, and Cooley scores the first 2 points of the season for the Golden Kings. Tanaka left open, launches, good! Oh, that's why he has earned the reputation as one of the best players in Japan. The confidence, the follow-through, and taking it up to an 8-2 lead here for Alvark Tokyo. Oh, beautiful bounce pass. Wonderful play. And 4 quick points here now for Jack Cooley. Alvark looking to go extend their lead again, and this time Alex Kirk misses from a long way out. And here come the Golden Kings. Ko Flippin would love to see that ball go in for the first time, but his attempt to bank one in is unsuccessful. Now Rossiter gets it back to Tanaka. Tanaka back to Rossiter, who spins back outside to Tanaka. And this time off the ring and out of bounds. So Narito Namizato is going to check into the game here for Golden Kings, and brings a little bit of playmaking, a little bit of fire on defense. So Ko Flippin takes a seat. Bounce pass, and then Cooley called for the travel. Couldn't handle it, did not handle it cleanly. It was not a bad pass, but it was one of those. You have to wonder what he's going to do with it when he catches it. With Alex Kirk blocking his way to the basket. Ryan Rossiter now. Interesting matchup with Dwayne Evans. And good job by Dwayne Evans defensively, not allowing Rossiter to come towards the basket there, making that shot a little more difficult. And now an offensive foul, moving screen called. So a little bit of a struggling start here for the Ryukyu Golden Kings, and Coach Pavicevic over there on the sideline liking what he's seeing from Alvark Tokyo. But you know, they've settled for a lot of jump shots here. See if they try to attack the basket. Another wide open jumper for Kirk. Maybe that's going to be the plan, leave him open, because he's been open pretty much every single time. He's been able to hit a couple. Meanwhile, Seba Size, the MVP of the finals last year for Chiba Jets, is checking in. Of course, played for Spain on many occasions. All of their qualifying games for the World Cup that they won back in 2019. And also checking in, number 75, Taiki Osakabe for this Alvark Tokyo team, just 23 years of age. Hayato Maki, meanwhile, as well as Alan Durham have come in for Ryukyu Golden Kings. Cooley went right at it, was hoping to get a foul called. Alan Durham already on the ground going for the loose balls, but Cooley called for throwing his arm to clear out Rossiter to go up, and Rossiter feeling every bit of Jack Cooley on that one. Watch this again. So he scraps. Whoa. I mean, he didn't really have much space to turn, and Rossiter, despite the contact, also, I would suggest, sold it pretty well. Bounce pass, Size. Good! Right off the bench. That's why they were so anxious to get him in this lineup. He is not afraid of the big moments, and there's no bigger moment than opening day in the B-League. Tashiro drives in, banks it in. Genki Kojima checked in the game. Bounce pass over to Size, same spot, but this time not the same result. And Namizato dribbles right, hands it off, and down low goes to Durham, who spins, and he gets rejected by Rossiter. Now the pass to Size, and that looked awkward, and they're going to count it. He was able to control it with his footwork and put it up off the glass and in. What a start for Sebastian Size. Well, I tell you, Jack Cooley walking a fine line with the referees. You could hear exactly what he said. New season starts and you stink. He needs to watch it or he's going to have a technical called. Great play there by Alvark, turning defense to offense. Finished by Seba Size and forcing the timeout. So great start for Alvark Tokyo. Well, you think it's a great start, but it's really only a 6-point lead at this stage. So Ryukyu Golden Kings, no need to panic. It's early in the game. And Jack Cooley, the frustration certainly mounting for him early on. So here's Size stepping up to the line. And again, he's had a terrific start to the game, but misses the free throw. Nevertheless, the offensive rebound collected by Rossiter. Now putting it up, and missing was Shuto Ando. So Ando still looking for his first points of the game. Great anticipation by Ando, and hands it off, and laying it up and in is Genki Kojima. Well, the coach likes nothing more than seeing his team get turnovers and points off turnovers. Bounce pass, Dwayne Evans gets it over to Durham. Durham puts it up. The ball swatted outside, collected yet once again by Namizato. Now Evans goes right at Rossiter and banks it in. Boy, that was a strong move by Dwayne Evans. Driving, shooting, Taiki Osakabe. Osakabe misses. And now another chance for the Golden Kings, down 6. Tashiro puts it up from deep. And a foul called on number 75, Taiki Osakabe. Not on the shot, however, just running through the screen. The drive and the swat by Size. Dwayne Evans, though, has it. Another chance for the Golden Kings. Hamizato drifts in and scores, beats the buzzer. Now some pressure in the backcourt. Namizato, and gets the charge called on Genki Kojima. Well, that's a veteran right there making important plays. Hounding Kojima, forcing him to panic a little bit. He picks it up. Now the drive ball, terrific play by Rossiter. The rim protection just saying not in my house. Although this isn't his house, this is Okinawa. Tanaka, bounce pass, Size. Will it be again? Yes, it will. He's hit 2 of 3 from pretty much that same spot. And the ball kicked. So it'll stay at this end.
Substitution Kings Cooley.
Ryukyu Golden Kings launching it from a long way out. And strong rebound by Cooley. As Kishimoto missing it from a long way out. They get it again. Hayata Maki. Now Evans. Evans goes between his legs, gets in, and misses. But Cooley again, offensive rebound. No! And does not get it in. But then I'm not sure how to interpret that. The battle between Rossiter and Cooley is just intense. Looked like Cooley was going to offer to help him up, and Rossiter just said he wanted to be helped up by his teammate instead. So Saiz doing some tough work inside. Right now, the battle in that low post is intriguing. Cooley, you can see how tough he is on the offensive glass. He gets to the line and makes the first. And nice follow through, gets the second one to go as well. Here comes Tanaka. And another basket for Alvark Tokyo's Tanaka. Final minute of an intense first quarter. And the basketball thrown out of bounds by Narito Namizato. Didn't quite connect with the big fella, Cooley. Coach Flippin comes back into the game. And the basketball inbounded to Genki Kojima. Off to Kirk. Kojima takes the screen, back to Saiz. Zach Baranowski in the game, number 10 for Alvark Tokyo. And that is a big-time move from Seba Saiz, high off the glass. Well, I think it's safe to say that Saiz is as good as advertised. It's almost as if he hasn't missed a beat from last season's championship finals. Go Flippin hands it off to Cooley. And offensive foul.
Foul on Cooley. The second, 2-point.
Oh, I think they've called a push on Cooley. And that could not have come at a worse time as they were attacking. You have to wonder why they didn't hold it for one shot. It now leads to a basket, or free throws rather, for Alex Kirk. So Kirk, who started the game off hot, now goes to the line and makes the first of 2 free throws. There will be 9.5 seconds remaining here for Ryukyu Golden Kings, but it has been a low-scoring first quarter for the hosts today. And as the shot was missed, another opportunity is going to be given to Kirk. No, they're going to say it was Alvark Tokyo in the lane first. And Kirk trying to understand how that call was made. Seemed to be kind of a delayed whistle. So Golden Kings get it to Flippin. Probably a good moment for him to go down and score. Gets in, puts it up. Oh, and he can't get it to drop. That would have been a 3-point play opportunity. He knows it. That's the type of play that can really ignite a team. And gets in the paint. Co-flipping. And co-flipping indeed, at long last, gets his first points as a Ryukyu Golden King. The first of many, I dare say. Still 2.8 seconds. See if Flippin can get the second to go. No, he does not. And Co-Flippin got over the line too quickly, knowing that shot was going to be short. I think they've called Co-Flippin over the line. Okay, I don't really understand this call, but I think there's going to be another free throw attempt awarded. So the ruling would be that Alvark Tokyo got into the lane too early on the rebound, and that's been a similar play at both ends of the court here right at the end of the first quarter. That'll be an interesting one for the referees, coordinators to review perhaps after this game. So Co-Flippin takes advantage, and you don't want to foul him here. The long shot is way over the backboard. So with that, the teams retreat to their huddles, and it's Alvark Tokyo on top, 21-14 at the end of one. Well, Alex Kirk came out and started pouring in the points. He's got 6, using that jump shot of his. Had a long 3, then a 2, and 1 of 2 at the line. Jack Cooley, very active early on, as is the case. The physicality, the scoring, and Ryan Rossiter, who just does a little bit of everything, showing his defense for Alvark Tokyo. And that was, of course, after Seba Sais had just checked into the game. And Seba Sais has gotten off to a great start here with Alvark Tokyo. He's got 8 points already. So Luka Pavicevic has to be thrilled with the first quarter. The only thing I would say is that they really have been on top of this Ryukyu Golden Kings team, but yet they only lead by 7 points. Even so, it'll be Alvark Tokyo with the opening possession of the second quarter. Well, it's the opening day of the Japanese B-League, folks, and We're thrilled to bring you the action, and coming right out and stroking it, Taiki Osakabe. And takes it up to a 9-point lead. A great opening day so far for the visitors from Tokyo. Durham back to Dwayne Evans. Goes between his legs, trying to find some space. Shot clock winding down. He's got to launch it. He does right at the end. Wasn't the shot he was looking for. Co-flipping and Saiz bump into each other. Saiz goes down, but gets right back up. Tanaka back to Seiba Saiz, who traveled. Good call by the referee there. Now Durham from the arc. Alan Durham. And just like that, it is a 6-point difference. Tanaka back to Kirk. And Kirk with another jump shot. He's doing all of his damage from mid-range out to the arc. Evans, his pass intercepted by Saiz. Saiz helps you in so many different ways. The rebounds, the points, the defense, whether it's coming up with steals or block shots, the hustle. Now Tanaka. Nice little runner. Well, I don't know if that was an alley-oop pass or if that was a shot, but it didn't go in. And Alan Durham charges into Taiki Osakabe. So the young Taiki Osakabe coming out and making a lot of plays on both ends of the court. Well, didn't seem to be any protest there from Alan Durham, although he was perhaps questioning whether or not Osakabe had established position. Now Rossiter. Osakabe again out to Kirk. Short. Ball hit out of bounds by Imamura. Keita Imamura in the game, number 30. And he's going back out, and Tashiro, the captain, comes back in. Perfect spot for a captain to come out and really turn things, much like Narito Namizato did or threatened to do immediately upon his introduction to the game in the first quarter. Came out and made a couple of big plays. But Alvark Tokyo leading by 8 points, and they have been getting a lot of open looks, especially for Kirk, and he's made the most of them. Here's Kirk again. This time, Dwayne Evans not giving him any space. But Kirk, again, wide open at the elbow. Well, they better get the grips with him. He's proved time and time again that he's going to hit the open jump shot, and he does for a 10-point lead. Bounce pass to Evans. You can see that Evans isn't quite on his game right now. Rossiter into the corner, gets it back. (2019-2020) MVP Tanaka passes it outside to Rossiter. And the rebound by Tashiro. Over to Durham. Spins. And Rossiter again, a factor down low. Defensively, he has made a huge difference guarding that rim down there. Here's Rossiter again, and the alley-oop. And Kirk draws the foul, so he goes to the line.
15 seconds.
A solid play yet again by Rossiter, and timeout has been called by Ryukyu Golden Kings as they try to find a foothold in this game. Right now it's a 10-point deficit, and this team just is not in the flow yet. Ryukyu Golden Kings. And the newcomers haven't really been outstanding yet today. Ko Flippin and Alan Durham. Whereas when you look at Alvark Tokyo, certainly you have to say that Seba Sais and Ryan Rossiter have been very good, but of course that's no surprise. Ten points for Kirk, and leading the way, leading all scores. He will go to the line for a couple of free throws when the players come back out. And really, it's fairly simple for me. I mean, whenever you're struggling like this, as Ryukyu Golden Kings are at the start, you know, it starts with your defense. You've got to get things right defensively. And you don't give away any offensive rebounds to the opposition. You know, you got to really box out, and you got to play defense, and you try to get some points from your defense. Time and time again, this team has given up open looks, open jump shots, especially to Kirk. And I don't know what their scout was, but he's been wide open, and that's why he's got the 10 points. And the game is only 13 and a half minutes old. Here he is at the line as well. So a great start to the season for this man right here, number 53. And Kirk goes to 11 points now. And Rossiter, you could see him going up and getting the low five. Rossiter doesn't care if he scores, or if he feeds somebody. He just wants to win. The bottom line, he has no points, but he's got 5 rebounds. And he's got some assists as well. Well, he's got that assist. And now Kirk goes out and Seba Sais comes in. So it's an interesting front court for Pavicevic with Kirk, with Sais, and with Rossiter. That rotation seems to be working right now. 29-17, biggest lead of the game for Alvark Tokyo, and they come out and they get the steal. And quickly up the floor to Osakabe. Now down low to Sais. Turns, long, Evans grabs the miss, gets it to Durham. See if we see the sense of urgency come here for this Ryukyu Golden Kings team. Nobody's coming to the boards here. And Durham tries to follow up his miss. He does. He gets it back. Now the three-point shot is good from Kishimoto. The 30-year-old guard. He can bring a team right back into it if he gets hot. That's a good development for the Golden Kings. Nobody picks up Kojima, but he doesn't punish. And now Namizato on the break goes up with the left hand and a little bit out of control in a rush. If you don't have the shot, pull it back out. He had his teammates spotting up from behind the arc. Kojima over to Sais, and Sais misses badly where he had hit a couple of shots earlier. Oh, beautiful pass, Tashiro to Evans. Does not get it to drop though, as Sais got those hands up on defense. Kojima, bounce pass, Rossiter, and great defense this time by Kishimoto. You get the feeling of Ryukyu Golden Kings just trying to stay within striking distance right now to get to halftime so they can regroup. Alan Durham open for three and just grazes the net. And a tough start to the game for Alan Durham. So timeout on the floor. Offensively, it certainly, to me, it looks like Ryukyu Golden Kings just don't have their legs. And we're at the start of the season, which has to be a concern. But they're just 5 of 21 from the floor inside the arc. You see Jack Cooley, number 45, is leading the way with 6 points. And then Durham and Namizato each with 3. Excuse me, it's Durham and Kishimoto each with 3, and Namizato has a basket. They're just finding it very difficult to put the ball in the basket. Meanwhile, Alvark Tokyo finding it much better. They're 10 of 22, just under 50%, right at, 45%. And it's Kirk who has the 12 points, who's leading the way. Also 8 points for Seba Sais. And 3 rebounds, 5 rebounds, an assist, and 2 blocks for Rossiter. Well, nobody questioned, I'm sure, when Alvark Tokyo went out and signed Ryan Rossiter and Seba Sais. You're talking about 2 players, elite players, international players. Rossiter, the naturalized Japanese, has played for Japan's national team, and of course Seba Sais plays at such a high level and was the MVP of the finals last year, or of the championship finals. Now, putting the ball on the deck, getting it down low, and handing it off, and 3-second violation has been called on Alvark Tokyo. So with 3:53 remaining in the first half here, Golden Kings trying to chip into that deficit. Kishimoto, he has hit 1-3 already. Picks up the dribble, gets it to Cooley, and Seba Sais called for the foul on the reach around. So Kirk is going to come back in for Sais. Namizato inbounds the basketball to Kishimoto. Namizato, for the second time today, his pass a little bit out of reach there for Jack Cooley, who was trying to post up and go hard, but he's got to catch it first. And now Namizato called for a push from behind on his opposite, Genki Kojima. Kojima, rather, helps him up. Daiki Tanaka comes back into the game. Right now with Ryukyu Golden Kings, you just do not feel like there is any fluidity on offense. There's nobody that's ready to really take over from a scoring standpoint. Meanwhile, this Alvark Tokyo team has many options, including Kirk, who leads all scorers with 12 points. Baranowski drives in and gets his first bucket of the game. And his contact sends Tashiro down with 3:08 remaining. And it was actually the collision with Durham coming in from behind on Tashiro, his teammate, Durham, that put him down, but he gets back up. Looks like he's kind of had his bell rung. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. It's an 11-point lead for Alvark Tokyo. And the drive and the basket is good. So Kishimoto again contributes on the offensive end. Rossiter going right at Durham and fades, misses. Tashiro rebounds. Misato and almost bowed out. Boy, it looked like Rossiter came right over the back of Cooley and there was no call. And you can understand Jack Cooley's frustration there. So another timeout on the floor. Yeah, that one sequence was very tough for Ryukyu Golden Kings. And another timeout called. So Alvark Tokyo with 2:11 remaining, leading by 9 points here in the first half. Here it is again. Watch this. Kishimoto, when he drives in and puts it up off the glass, that was a beautiful finish. And going to his left hand as well. So nothing has come easy, that's for sure, for this Ryukyu Golden Kings team today. You can see Narito Namizato talking to the ref, and the referee does a good job of going over there and trying to have some interaction with the player, listen to his complaint, take it on board. Meanwhile, good minutes for Genki Kojima. He goes over to the bench. Who would have expected Kirk to be leading the scoring in this game? But he is indeed. Those 12 points. And another drive and the foul called on Ko Flippin. So a good job by Tanaka. If he's not reaching there, perhaps they do not call the foul. So I think it was probably the fact that he had his right hand in there going for the basketball is why they called the foul. And Tanaka, meanwhile, who I suppose has the admiration of fans even here in Ryukyu, the Ryukyu Golden Kings fans rather, in Okinawa. This is the first. Pavicevic. He knows this game isn't over. You can see the anxious looks on his face. Tanaka makes 1 of 2 and stretches the lead to 10. Under 2 minutes to go in this first half. Evans, Kishimoto, and the ball rattled out, and the push called on Kirk. Here he is battling away. Yeah, he had his hands on him. I mean, you can't complain about, certainly, they could have called one on Rossiter possession ago, which they did not. Coming over the back of Cooley. Here's Evans. And traveling the call on Flippin, and a very difficult start for number 4. The player that helped out Chiba Jets last year big time in the championship as they won the title. But one thing you have to remember, folks, it is a very long season. Tanaka puts it up, and Kirk kept it alive. Good job by Kirk, but not able to corral it. Here comes Evans. Back outside to Flippin. Evans decides to take it right at Rossiter instead of attempting the jump shot, and Kirk with the rebound and fouled by Durham.
The second.
So really nobody, yeah, it's not even the veterans of this Ryukyu Golden Kings team. Nobody is really firing on all cylinders right now. Not just the newcomers Durham and Flippin, but really nobody has really stood out for this team today. Somebody's going to have to bring a spark in the second half. And Alex Kirk with a little bit of a hitch, and he gets Alvark, he gets Ryukyu Golden Kings into the lane. I don't like that. I mean, it looks like he has a hitch in an attempt to get the opposition into the lane. And you can see everybody's talking about it over there on the Ryukyu Golden Kings bench. And Kirk might even be chuckling about it. So he had a different kind of hitch that time, but he misses, and nevertheless Rossiter gets the rebound. Well, who would have thought it would be an 11-point lead with Ryan Rossiter yet to score a single point? But that is indeed the case, and Tanaka takes it up to the biggest lead of the game. 14-point advantage for Alvark Tokyo. Shiro. Now Durham, and Durham travels. Well, halftime cannot come soon enough for Ryukyu Golden Kings. They need to regroup. Nothing is going their way right now. Durham joined this team from Nagata, the 33-year-old. And right now Durham he's only got 3 points. Well, you always knew it was going to be a tough ask for Ryukyu Golden Kings. They've got is it a good pressure or is it a bad pressure to be playing at home in front of your own fans? The expectations, the new season, and on top of that, you're going up against an Alvark Tokyo team that is, obviously one of the traditional powerhouses, two-time championship winners, former MVP Tanaka, and they've also added players like Rossiter and Seba Sais, just to name a couple. It's a team that looks like it's potentially going to be a lot better than it was last season. But again, this is only game one. But these Alvark Tokyo fans are liking what they are seeing at the moment. There's Baranowski and Kirk. So Kirk now with 13 points and a couple of rebounds. And Baranowski is going to inbound the basketball. So final 30 seconds here in the first half with Alvark Tokyo on top by 14 points and looking to make that advantage even bigger. Tanaka. And putting it up from deep, missing was Ando. And now co-flipping again with the ball in his hands at the end of the quarter. Here he is, drives in, and again, same thing as last time. Drives to the basket, gets fouled, although that was a lot tougher shot to make. But at least he gets to the free throw line. Tanaka called for the foul as he swiped at that basketball. So I believe that's his second foul. And Co-Flippin gets the first to drop. And now the Alvark Tokyo players, as well as the Ryukyu Golden King players, get into position. And this time Co-Flippin drills both to cut it back to a 12-point deficit, 3.6 seconds remaining. Baranowski is going to inbound the basketball. He gets it to Rossiter. And Rossiter needs to launch it. And I don't even think that would have counted had it gone. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, as Luka Pavicevic's Alvark Tokyo team go to halftime, it could be a lot bigger lead, but it's Alvark Tokyo on top, 36-24 over the Ryukyu Golden Kings. Well, here we are at halftime of Ryukyu Golden Kings and Alvark Tokyo. Alvark Tokyo on top, and Alex Kirk has been the battering ram, so to speak, but primarily outside with his scoring. Ryukyu Golden Kings haven't been able to get enough of that going with Jack Cooley. The defense from Alvark Tokyo really making life difficult for the hosts today. Daiki Tanaka coming out and hitting some shots, as well as Seiba Saiz coming off the bench. What a luxury to have a player of his caliber coming off the bench. You got Tashiro, who had that moment earlier in the game. But Rossiter has been extremely combative on both ends of the floor, that time leading to a fast break and the finish by Seiba Saiz, who again has been terrific. Dwayne Evans, there have been moments or flashes of what he can do. Clearly, he hasn't played anywhere near his best today, and he'll need to for this team. He played a lot better. Namizato came in and had a couple of big plays. We saw the layup and then drawing the charge there. And at that point, you really felt like Ryukyu Golden Kings might get something going, but Alvark Tokyo just kept their poise. Tanaka with another shot. And really from my vantage point anyway, they've made it look relatively easy today. And especially their substitutes as well. Taiki Osakabe coming in and scoring. But Itzy Durham hit that one shot, and he is going to have to do a lot more, as well as Ko Flippin, if they're going to have any chance of success today. But Kirk, if they go back and look at this game, they're going to regret allowing Kirk to get off to a good start like he has. Kishimoto hit that three-pointer, and here he just a terrific drive, scoring with his left hand. But they always seem to have an answer at the other end after a basket from the Golden Kings. That time it was Tanaka, and the result is a double-digit lead at halftime for Ryukyu Golden Kings. Now, inside the arc, double-digit lead for Alvark Tokyo. So 11 of 25 inside the arc for Alvark Tokyo, 3 of 8 from deep, 5 of 9 from the line. They're being out-rebounded, yet you can see they are winning the battle by 12 points. It's been a very tough ask. Just 6 of 24 inside the arc for Golden Kings, 2 of 6 from deep. Thank goodness they've been able to get to the free throw line and make all 6. They are out-rebounding Alvark Tokyo. But all that matters is the numbers on that scoreboard, and right now they say 12-point advantage for the visitors. Now here's kind of the guard matchup from both teams, Kishimoto and Tanaka, or shooting guards rather. You can see what they've been able to do today. And you're used to Tanaka. You're talking about the former league MVP. So, pretty much game in and game out, he's going to come in and make plays for his team. Kishimoto, though, is one of these players, in my opinion, who is worth the price of admission. He will come in, seize the moment, and make some big plays. We've seen it a couple of times today. But we haven't seen it enough. Hugh Watanabe not able to play today because he's out injured for Golden Kings. But Tanaka, again, across the board contributions for him. And Coach Pavicevic is, well, he can't be unhappy with how things are going, but knowing what he's like as a coach and his Balkan mentality, he is looking for perfection, expecting perfection, but also knowing he's not going to get perfection, certainly not in the opening game of the season. Defensively, you have to think is where it has to happen. Again, they got to get some stops and points off turnovers just to get themselves back into this game. So Pavicevic, Alvark Tokyo, coach. He's like, let's just keep doing what we're doing. You know, the team that's been better defensively today has been Alvark Tokyo. They have not allowed Ryukyu Golden Kings to look comfortable at any point in this game. Well, welcome back, folks, for the third quarter. If you've enjoyed a trip to the kitchen to get a frosty cold one or a hot tea, the game is back underway, and it's Alvark Tokyo leading by 12 points. But it's Ryukyu Golden Kings who come right out and score and get a trip to the line. Keita Imamura, chance for a three-point play, and this is what the Golden King fans will be hoping will ignite a comeback. Look at this. Great play, great follow-through. Seba size. In fact, no, excuse me, I think that was Kikuchi who was called for the foul. So Shuto Ando brings it up the floor, gets it to Kirk. And surely, if there's anybody you want to get a hand in the face of, it's Kirk. Now Rossiter, who's been quiet offensively, at least with his scoring, passes it back outside to Kikuchi. And Kikuchi tries to draw the foul on Imamura, but unsuccessfully. And now the Golden Kings with Namizato pushing it quickly. Cooley. Back to Namizato. Dwayne Evans, wide open, top of the key. And he needs to hit that shot wide open. Rossiter dumps it to Kirk. And boy, that is just way too easy. And really a 5-point swing when you think that Evans misses the three. He's had a tough game. Penetration, dish, Evans, again, this time follows and gets it to go. You know he's frustrated. He realizes that his team counts on him a lot to produce. First 5 minutes probably going to tell us in this third quarter how competitive the rest of this game is going to be. If the Golden Kings can shave into this deficit, here we go, shave points off of it anyway. Namizato with a long rebound. Kashiro dumps it to Cooley. He's fouled, and he gets the basket to go. That's the fact. Jack Cooley goes to the line with a chance to cut this deficit now to 6 points. Look at this. He saw the mismatch. He wanted to go up, and look at him with the left hand, the soft left hands, gets it to go. And the way they've been calling fouls on him today, he's you can see he was being very careful how he moved his body that time to avoid any unnecessary contact. So they didn't call a charge. Baranski going to try to box out Cooley here, but Cooley's been good at the line today and makes another one. Big number 45. And 6 points, the deficit. Now Rossiter working against Evans. The hands are up on defense. That's a good sign for the Golden Kings. Tanaka. Back to Kirk. And, oh boy, he has been money in the bank today. The way he shot the basketball today, there is no way in the world he should have any daylight, any space to shoot it. 15 points for him. The dump again to Cooley, and coming in, and Rossiter swiping the ball, and then the foul, and Cooley frustrated, thinking there was a foul. Cooley had about 3 players guarding him. Tanaka. Now drifting in. Back outside to Kirk. And Kirk gets another one. Well, I'd call a timeout and say, guys, we got to get a hand in the face. We cannot allow this man to shoot the basketball. He's killing us. He takes it back up to a 10-point game. Imamura misses. Cooley keeps it alive. Outside to Evans. Seems reluctant to take that three-pointer today. The ball again batted outside to Imamura over to Evans. Now Namizato, little runner, gets swatted by Kirk, who's doing everything. He's the MVP of the game, in my opinion. Purely on his scoring alone. And he comes out and makes a play like that on defense. Three-point shot, good! Oh boy, that is a killer from Shuto Ando. Just like he used to do it at Nagoya, just the purest of shots. Look at this. Look at the follow through. So timeout on the floor. The lead goes to 13. And a big opportunity lost here for Ryukyu Golden Kings. They just are not turning on all cylinders right now. Well, Kirk now with 19 points, 7 of 10 from the floor. He also has 3 rebounds. And he's 4 of 6 at the free throw line. Kirk has easily been the most dominant player, although Tanaka has come out and scored 9 big points. Seiba Sais in that first half had 8 points. Cooley with 9 points, 6 rebounds. Also has a couple of blocks. I know he's had a couple of shots blocked, excuse me. The player that unfortunately has not done well today for Ryukyu Golden Kings, Dwayne Evans, just does not have his scoring touch. Just 2 of 12 from the floor, and he's missed some open shots, and he's also forced up some tough shots. Namizato's 1 of 4 and Durham's 1 of 6. As bad as it's been for Ryukyu Golden Kings, you know, they had their shot there. They got it down to a single-digit deficit, down to 6 points. But now Alvark Tokyo have responded to take it back up to a 13-point lead. Imamura at the stripe, and that was not a shot taken with confidence. Well short. Tanaka puts it up and gets it to drop. He's got 11 points. Point advantage. Tashiro, good! Well, that was almost a bust to go in, as Golden Kings needed to stop the rot. 4.5 minutes into the second half here. So the lead 12 points, and now good hustle by Ryukyu Golden Kings, but in the end, Kirk catches it down low, and the big fella goes up for the dunk. He's got 21 points. Durham, foul down low. So Rossiter. I don't think Rossiter can have too many complaints. I think he's gotten away with a couple today. Here is Sais coming back into the game, as well as Genki Kojima, who was terrific in the first half. Tanaka goes out. Nice rotation working over there for Coach Pavicevic of Alvark Tokyo. Three-point shot. And Durham keeps it alive, gets it back. Imamura just made an ill-advised pass. It goes out of bounds. So that was Baranski who got the hands in there to disrupt the pass. Or deflect the pass anyway. Now Seiss. The Golden Kings rebounding is helping them stay alive, but another almost unforced turnover by Keita Imamura. And these guys just are not on the same page right now, Ryukyu Golden Kings, in terms of knowing where teammates are going to be to receive those passes. Kishimoto comes back in. Ko Flippin also into the game, and he's guarding Genki Kojima. Ooh, boy, bullying his way in there. Rossiter called for the charge. The crowd trying to get the Golden Kings back into it, give them that little bit of a lift. Quiet start to new life here for Ko Flippin with the Golden Kings. Gary Hamilton in the game, the veteran number 2, and a hold down low. So Dwayne Evans at the line and gets the first one to drop. Okatani calling instructions from the bench. And Evans gets both free throws to drop. Point deficit. From the corner, good! Boy, that is a killer from Taiki Osakabe. But the big point that you have to keep driving home is wide open. Ko Flippin takes a tough shot, makes it with a hand in his face. Fortune favors the brave. This Golden Kings team has to play hard on defense, and they've got to get those hands up. And now, an offensive foul called on Osakabe. A 23-year-old looking for an explanation from the referee. And there is Kirk back in the game. Kurt has been a one-man wrecking crew today for this Alvark Tokyo outfit. Now the dump to Evans, and are they going to give him 2 free throws? Because just as the whistle was blown, the ball hit the hands of Evans and went up and hit off the rim. And 2 shots indeed. Evans might have gotten away with a little bit of a hook with his right arm and hand. Free throw is good. And the second one, also good. So Evans finding a little bit of peace, a little bit of joy at the free throw line. He's able to see the basketball fall through the hoop, and maybe that'll get him going. That cuts it back to an 11-point deficit. Kojima gives it to Size and gets it right back. Now to Kurt. And Hamilton was on him. Osakabe dribbling around up top, shot clock about to expire, puts it up, and it's kind of a difficult shot, but Dwayne Evans called for the push on Size. And that's a good call. He definitely shoved him out of bounds. Watch Evans at the free throw line, and then he goes in and just a clear shove. If they called it on Kishimoto, it should have been called on Evans. Pavicevic, again, his team's been on top, but he knows there's a long way to go. And another foul called, a hold on Durham. Still 12 minutes, 36 seconds left here in the game for Ryukyu Golden Kings to bring their best and to get an opening day win. Good defense, though, from Ko Flippin. Forces a turnover. And no contact called that time with Shuto Ando and Ko Flippin making contact. Ko Flippin was hoping there was going to be a foul called. Watch this. And that's a good no call by the referee. Ko Flippin's got to stay on his feet. Eleven points the advantage. Kirk has it for Alvark Tokyo. Size. Well, he was backing his way down and then just lost control of the basketball. Hamilton, number 2. Now to Evans, makes an extremely difficult catch, and the foul called on Baranski. The Zakitek called for the foul. Where the spot where he's been able to make a big difference here in the second half. Evans back at the free throw line, and again gets another one to drop. And there's still a lot of time in this game here for Ryukyu Golden Kings to get the result they came for today. They've got it back to 10. And finally, Evans, having made several in a row, misses. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Kojima over to Kirk. And this time unsuccessful with the jump shot. So Golden Kings rode their luck a little bit. Kishimoto from a long way out. Oh! Kind of rimmed out. That would have got it to 7. I think you give him the green light because he's a streaky shooter, Kishimoto. Kirk doesn't look for the shot this time. Good defense from Ko Flippin, forcing the turnover. Signs of life for the Ryukyu Golden Kings. So Tanaka comes back into the game for Genki Kojima. Kojima goes out. And Pavicevic again. Looking a little bit nervous over there on the sidelines, wearing the mask. As the coaches do here because of the COVID. Here is Evans. Evans from the left corner. Gets it to go! The three! And maybe, just maybe, making so many free throws has allowed finally Evans to get some rhythm with that shot. Final minute of the third quarter. Tanaka back to, well, Kirk had a wide open shot, misses, but then nobody's there for the rebound. The ball batted out and a new 14. Now, Tanaka drives in. Oh boy, that's a tough one to give away for the Golden Kings. It was good work by Alvark Tokyo. Durham steps back. And the ball goes back out of bounds. Not really any ball movement that time down the floor. And the pass goes around. Now outside to Tanaka. He lets it fly. So we've been saying this all game long. Despite Alvark Tokyo's hegemony for the entire game, really, they only lead it by 9 points. 54-45. Alvark Tokyo on top of Ryukyu Golden Kings at the end of three. Well, Alvark Tokyo have come out firing today, and they've pretty much led the entire game, but they have not delivered the knockout punch against Ryukyu Golden Kings, who had a little bit of a surge at the end of the third quarter. And with that surge, giving themselves a chance to overhaul this deficit going down the stretch. So Baranski and Alvark Tokyo come back out onto the court. Who wants this more? That's the question. Evans, meanwhile, now has 12 points. He's just 3 of 13 from the floor, but he has done a lot of damage at the free throw line. 5 of 6 for Ryukyu Golden Kings. He's still out on the court. Oh, the pass telegraphed. Kirk lucky that Flippin did not take that the other way for an easy 2. Watch this. Boy, you look at that and you think, how did Flippin not catch that ball and take it the other way? Here's Tanaka. Back outside to Baranski. Pump fake for 3. Rossiter kept it alive, and foul called on Kishimoto. Well, not for the first time today. Ryan Rossiter and Alvark Tokyo getting an important offensive rebound. I think Durham's got to maybe try to box him out a little bit harder there. And again, another foul called. Is it on Kishimoto? Not here, but as he chases. Boy, looked like Kirk might have been moving just a little. Baranski looking like he's a threat offensively now, but he does miss a couple of shots, and despite Ryan Rossiter keeping it active down low, Golden Kings get the basketball, so a chance to pull to within 7 or maybe 6 if they can hit a 3. Evans catches it, puts it up and in. Everything he gets, he is having to work overtime, twice as hard to get. And indeed, it's back to a 7-point game. Rossiter outside. Ando lets it fly. And way too hard, but Baranski just takes it away from Evans. Well, that just simply cannot happen. The ball fell right into the hands of Dwayne Evans. And now a trip on Kishimoto. 3 fouls on Kishimoto. But the whole problem is that Evans did not get the rebound. So with the 3 fouls, Kishimoto is going to check out. And Tashiro re-enters the frame, the captain. Flippin goes for the steal! Tries to force the turnover, but it will stay at this end. Good attempt. He is in the hunt, isn't he? Flippin knows a lot of eyes on him after what he did last year for Chiba Jets against this Ryukyu Golden Kings club in the semifinals. Rossiter puts it up, and Rossiter still can't get it to drop. Evans brings it the other way. Spins and fouled as he goes up. It is incredible, almost unthinkable, that Ryan Rossiter has not scored at this point of the game. For Alvark Tokyo, he's not just a scorer, he does a lot of things, but you'd expect him to at least be around 10 points. So timeout, Alvark Tokyo, as the teams head to the bench. For Alvark Tokyo, Tanaka playing well today. He's got 13 points. He's 3 of 5 from inside the arc, 2 of 4 from deep, and 1 of 2 at the line. He's also got 5 assists. And that was Kirk's pass intended for Tanaka that Flippin almost swiped and took to the other end. You can almost appreciate maybe it'll take just a little bit of time for these two newcomers to really find their way in this Ryukyu Golden Kings team. The more they play together, the more familiar with each other they'll become, and also with what the coach wants. It's definitely a team. It's definitely a game where you can see that Ryukyu Golden Kings, it's their first official game of the season, just like it is for Alvark Tokyo, and still looking. Obviously, they're going to play a lot better as the season goes along. Durham's still out. Durham comes back in, rather, only 3 points, 1 of 7 from the floor. Evans gets it to go. It's a 6-point deficit. They have not been this close for a long time. Exciting stuff in the B-League here in Okinawa. Coach Okitani looking hopeful over there on the bench, but this time Evans misses the second, just like on his previous trip to the line. Now Tanaka. Oh boy, throws it out of bounds. A little bit of miscommunication there with Shuto Ando. And flip it, inbounds it to Evans, who gets it to Hart, or Hamilton rather, and his pass, boy, that was bad turnover. You're within 6 points. A basket here will really hurt. Rossiter simply cannot find his range today, still without a point. The dump, oh, great play. They get it to Evans, and he goes up strong. How outstanding has he been in that low post, catching those passes with his arms fully extended and the defense right up against his body. He has been terrific in that regard. He hasn't made his shots, but he made that one to get it back to a 4-point deficit. Pump fake, and the shot is no good. And again, Seba Sais, it's not often that a rebound gets away from him, and Ko Flippin almost throws the ball away. Shuto Ando looking to go the other way for 2 points, almost. Flippin had just enough mustard on that pass to where Ando couldn't control it, couldn't catch it. Evans whips it around, Tashiro for 3. Got it! It's a 1-point game! Boy, talk about rising from the dead. This team was going nowhere fast today, and suddenly it's a 1-point game. Ryukyu Golden Kings, Alvark Tokyo, just not able to press home the advantage, and now they're in real trouble. Shuto Ando gets it to Sais. He's blocked. Here comes Evans. Quickly up the floor, controls the body! Ryukyu Golden Kings, incredibly, have taken the lead. 6 minutes remaining. They have trailed by as many as 15 points. In fact, I think it was 17 at one stage. Here is Osakabe from the arc. And the offense drying up for Alvark Tokyo, for Alvark Tokyo. And if you get anything here, you want it to be a good shot. It needs to be an open shot in the flow. Flipping. Back to Durham. Good drive. Basket is good. And Alvark Tokyo is suddenly looking a little lost and confused on defense, giving away a layup. Osakabe, he just missed one from deep. Gets it over to Sais, jump shot. And they are not looking themselves, not getting good shots. And now Coach Flippin and Ryukyu Golden Kings. I tell you what, if they can hold on to a win today, boy, that will really potentially be a launch pad for them to have a strong start to the season. Evans, Durham, he just scored with a drive. Again, he gets it down low, little bit of confusion. Flippin gets it up just in the nick of time. And I tell you, a little bit of misfortune there for the Golden Kings. Looked like it was going to be their basketball. He's like, hey, that's our ball. That went off of Alvark, Tokyo. So timeout has been called with 4.5 minutes remaining, and Ryukyu Golden Kings leading it by 3 points. And as tough a day as it's been for Dwayne Evans, it is his really resilience and combativeness really that has really kept him in the game. Look at Durham's block on Seba's size, and then that triggered this break. Who Evans making sure he did not charge into Kojima. And with that, Evans has 19 points. He's 6 of 16 from the floor.